This is Pastor Eva with your Tuesday Eastside Lifeline. While it shouldn't take a global pandemic to make us realize this, our lives are interconnected. We are haunted by the fact that it takes collective actions like all of us wearing our mask and all of us practicing social distancing in order for us to see a massive trend down. And right now in Alabama, that's just not happening. And no matter how angry we get, no matter how many times or how many times we post to social media about the social distancing and washing our hands, there's a subset who don't get it or won't get it. Interconnected means my neighbor's actions impact me and my actions impact my neighbor. Well, in national news again, another Black man has been killed in police custody. And we only know the story because the front part of it is taped. How many unknown stories are there? But let's pause for a second and say his name. George Floyd. I wonder, do we feel interconnected over this? I wonder, do we realize that this situation is representative of a collective consciousness around Blackness in America and around the world? I wonder if you even remember Eric Garner, how he said the same words in 2014 while in a chokehold. I can't breathe. The police murdered him too, on camera too. While it's easy to change the channel and say, well, that's just another state, I do question why the energy is so different over this pandemic. Perhaps it's because you can be impacted directly, physically or economically. But I want you to watch in the media over the next couple of days of how mass media will continue to focus heavily on this pandemic. And when they decide to cover the situation, the death, the murder of Mr. George Floyd, they will focus on the protesters rather than the police. They will focus on the unrest rather than the injustice that has happened again and again and again. I feel like this just happened last week. But I want to know, really, my question is, if we're so interconnected, we care so much about production of masks and washing our hands, how will your civic groups respond? How will your community organizations respond? How will your podcasts and even your churches, not just your pastors, respond? What will be your response to the death of Mr. George Floyd? If we're so interconnected, if my life and my actions depend on you, and your life and your actions depend on me, what will be your response? If we are truly interconnected. This has been Pastor Eva with your Tuesday Eastside Lifeline. Have a good week. Bye-bye.